Hello, workmates. Welcome to Work and Talk in PH, your go to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness, where chill convos meet real life lessons because hashtag it works.
I'm Ron, and today we're diving into the world of virtual assistants, how it's changed the game for freelancers in the Philippines, and how you can go from one person show to leading your own powerhouse team. Our guest today is someone who's done exactly that, from her first VA job to founding virtual champions and making ClickUp your go-to tool for efficiency. Please welcome Eloiza Serate to the podcast. So happy to have you here, Eloiza. Kumusta?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. So glad to be here.
All right. So, well, we want to understand first, how did you happen to have this career? So, can you tell us about where it started? Was VA your first job, or how did you end
No,
up?
my first job was actually here in Ayala. Way back 2006, I was a call center agent for Convergys.
Oh.
For 6 months. Back then, I was earning maybe 18,000.
Wow. Okay.
Right? And then, but I started a family, so I was left at home. So I had to find something to do because I was bored at home. So that's when I learned about working from home, and then somebody told me that there's like a job that I could get just using my laptop. So my first job actually as a virtual assistant is an online English teacher for Japanese
Okay.
students. And then back then I was like teaching around 6 p.m. to 12 midnight, and after a month I earned 10,000 pesos.
After a month.
After a month. But to be honest, that's my biggest take-home pay. Because back then, when I was still in the corporate, I had to pay for the rent.
Uh-huh.
Diba? I have to pay for taxi.
Okay.
And then, I go out and eat lunch. Jolly Jeep would be like the cheapest. Or pag sweldo, you go out with friends. Jollibee, Chowking, diba?
You mean net revenue?
Net
right?
income.
Net income, rather.
Yes,
Sorry.
because I need to spend a lot. Parang zero talaga after I get that 18K kasi there's deductions pa, diba? So, nothing is left actually. By the time it's already like payday, I'm already waiting for the next payout. It wasn't enough, but when I earned that 10,000, that's my net. I only had to pay like 1,000 pesos for internet. That's it.
Okay.
I don't have to pay for like transportation, or I don't have to pay to buy corporate clothes anymore. So that's really my net. So I was amazed because it was easy, and I was doing it while raising my kids. So, and it got me excited. So it just started from there, online English teacher, and then after maybe a month, somebody reached out from Upwork or Odesk. It was Odesk then, asking. The role was like for a writer. So I didn't know what an SEO writer mean before. But basically, when you search for, let's say, on Google, there's like a paragraph that you read about the site. So that's what we write, the metadata description. But now, there's no more metadata description writer because you can generate that through AI now. So there's no more jobs like that. So when I got that SEO writer, I think I was getting paid 400 US dollars. So that's around maybe 20,000 per month. Per month. But I can do the job maybe 1 to 2 days because it's flexible. It's very output based. So I just need to write maybe 100 snippets a week. So that's it. I earned $200, 20,000 pesos.
Okay.
Net, right?
Because you're doing it working
from home, yes. And then after that, my next gig was this is my official virtual assistance. I supported like a business in Australia. He's doing, because fire services is very in demand in Australia because this is training for firefighters. So he has like an online training for firefighters to help them get admitted to the fire services. So I supported him, customer support, everything, email, design, customer support, managing the website, writing blogs. My rate then was, I think, $5, 5 Australian dollars. So it's maybe like 3 US dollars. So for part-time, I earned 30,000
per month.
But this is like spanning a year or something. So I didn't have to wait for like 2 years to get to increase my salary, right? So the jump was really fast in a span of like a couple of years. So I was earning 30,000, and then he bumped my hours to maybe 6 hours a day. So I earned around 40,000 in a month. And then after this client, I found another Australian client. I actually look for the sites that I look is onlinejobs.ph. That's where I found most of my big clients.
Okay.
So the next client was a leadership coach in Australia as well. I like Australia because back then, when you work sa call center, di ba, night shift, and I was always sick most of the time because air conditioning is really very cold, and I was always sick. I was always like, I was not
It's not
healthy
fit
at
for
all.
you.
No, so I didn't like the night shift at all. So I chose the Australian clients because it's
Kind of matching our time zone.
yes, it's very similar. So
Sorry, when was the online what year was the online teaching?
I think 2000,
call center.
2006, I started my call center career, but it didn't last. I went back home around 2013.
Okay.
I was actually late.
Uh,
A lot of people started earlier than me.
in terms of
The freelancing world. I've been hearing about it parang earlier pa. So I started late actually. I was already late in the game. So 2013, so in span of 8 years, that's actually when I started my agency. So my biggest my last client that really helped me with my career is the leadership coach from Australia. Because back then my rate was like $8 Australian, so that's around $5 USD. So I was earning around maybe 60,000 a month.
Okay.
And then she actually flew me. It was like a milestone for me. She actually flew me to Australia. And back then I didn't even have a valid ID. That's to be honest. I had to apply for postal ID because I don't have any ID to apply for my bank account. So postal ID, that's the basic ID that you can get if you don't have any valid ID back then. I had to pay for like 500. And I didn't have any travels, even domestic. But she flew me to Australia twice.
So that
Not
was
once,
your
but
first
twice.
air travel?
That was my first airplane ride. So imagine that people would fly you to their country because they believe in you, in your talent. And in corporate, or if you're working in a corporate job, you have to wait for like 5 years maybe, or 10 years. You have to dedicate your life to get promoted or to get incentives like that, or
Right.
you're gonna be bound to like a contract.
Right.
Because we sent you to this country, you're bound to work for us for another 10 years or something, right? So she flew me twice. And
Within the same year?
maybe 2 consecutive years.
Okay.
And then they actually give me a profit share at the end of the financial year. That's like 6 digits.
Wow.
Profit share. I was able to to get my granite countertops because of the profit share. So it was really exciting. And when she flew me there, because she's a leadership coach, she asked me to attend the seminar. And I think that was very transformational for me, because I think that gave me the confidence to be a leader, a woman leader. So
Yourself.
yes. So subconsciously I was like transformed. I just didn't know it yet, but yeah. That gave me the courage to start my own agency as well.
That's
So there.
okay.
That's the short story of my
We can't call
career.
it short.
Yes. Yeah, but that's how I started. Yeah.
What year is that now?
Oh my God, I can't remember. Siguro 20. I started Virtual Champions 2019. So maybe that's around 2017.
2017.
Yes, when I flew to Australia.
Okay. So you were doing the freelancing from 2013. Pero 2013, online English teacher, right?
Yes,
ESL.
yes.
For 1
1 month
month.
lang, yes.
Okay. And then you can
Jumped in between
jump
jobs,
in.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Wow. That was very interesting. Okay, so from transitioning from working solo and running your own team, obviously that's a very big leap, right?
Yes.
Okay, but I guess with that calling, right, that really motivated you to...
Yeah, so what really inspired me, how did I jump from freelancer to agency owner? It was really because, well, basically my boss decided one day. My last job actually was an operations manager for an e-commerce company based in Switzerland. And then my boss is actually very into like Reddit groups, and he wanted to be in the know with the latest technology and all that. So he decided one day that we had to transfer to this new tool. And since I was the operations manager, I had to learn it. I had to transfer all of our systems, all of our spreadsheets into this new tool. And I had to teach the team as well, right? So I have to know it first before I could teach anybody.
For sure.
And that was ClickUp. So ClickUp is a project management tool. I had to learn it, using it 8 to 10 hours a day. What got me excited about it is that because we were doing ads a lot. So if you're in the e-commerce space, you're doing product ads a lot. And I had to coordinate with the copywriter, the video editor, the media buyer. I have to report to my boss and all that. So it's a lot of coordination. And when I set up ClickUp, I was able to automate it in a way that when you're done with the copy, then the video editor or designer gets notified. So it was fully automated. I didn't have to do a thing. I was just watching the flow of the work. I didn't have to tell anybody it's their turn because the automation is doing that. So that got me really excited. And I thought, I can do this with any process, right? It's not just with ads production. And he said, oh, so there's a Facebook group. Please join there. So he asked me to join the Facebook group. This is already 1 year of using ClickUp 8 to 10 hours a day. And he said, if you get stuck, you can ask a question, or you can ask there the community. When I joined there, I ended up answering the questions because I was already very experienced with ClickUp, and they were asking like very basic questions. And then somebody said, oh, I can pay someone their time to do this. And I thought, I could do that. I can do that. It's very easy. Or to answer these questions, which I thought, yeah, I can answer those questions. So that gave me an idea. So in freelancing, you have different sites where you go to for freelancing jobs. So it's usually Upwork. Fiverr was very new for me. So I didn't have a profile yet. But all the rest, I already have like an established profile. So I thought, okay, let me try Fiverr. I'll put up my profile there. And then shared my profile. But I ended up, and then I put $20. Back then, my rate was
For your rate.
Back then, my rate as an operations manager was $10 an hour, full time.
Okay.
So it was like $1,600 dollars. And then I was shooting for the stars. I put $20.
Okay.
Just shooting for the stars, just in case somebody booked me, then it's gonna be worth my time. And it's twice my hourly rate. But what happened was, I ended up so booked.
Okay.
Like, oh my God. So it's like the perception of a value where it's like more expensive, it's more, higher quality.
Right,
and that worked for me because I got so booked. I had to cram my 40 hours during the weekend just to fulfill my full-time job. And I thought, okay. And that was the pandemic. That was the pandemic where people are like getting laid off here and there.
Right.
And I was like contemplating, should I quit my job? I felt so guilty because I felt so I felt so entitled or something. I felt so guilty because people are getting laid off. But then I thought to myself, I'm getting paid twice as much. I'm enjoying it because it's like a different puzzle every day. It's not routine. It's very exciting and it's very high reward, fulfilling, and it's fast. So the earning potential is really there. So I just took the leap of faith and then just quit my job.
And then
And that's the rest is history. So that's when I started building the agency. I actually hired my first person 1 month in. I didn't wait for like 6 months or let me establish this first for a year or so and then I'll hire my first employee. No, I hired my first person 1 month in. The first person that I hired doesn't even know ClickUp exists. He was like a government employee getting paid like 8,000 a month in Bicol. So I hired him, but he was also an English teacher. So the reason I hired him is because he already knows how to do the online work because it's not the usual scenario. I'm a very extrovert social person. When I transitioned to online working, it can be isolating. So there's a bit of shift in your mindset because you don't have coworkers to, talk to every day.
Right.
There's no social interaction at all.
Right.
And all you do every day is just in front of your computer doing the work. You can't procrastinate or you don't do Hadouken. In call center, we call it Hadouken. If we don't want to take calls, we just click the...
you don't have to remind me.
So everything is like real work.
Uh,
And you don't have a supervisor to mentor you or to coach you or to motivate you. You have to motivate yourself.
I was gonna say that.
Right.
You have to be self-motivated.
And you have to lead yourself.
Uh-uh.
Nobody's gonna, oh, this is where you go in order for you to get promoted. This is what you need to do. No, you have to think about that yourself, by yourself. You're on your own, basically. So it can be isolating. There's a lot of pressure. And yeah, burnout is really real because, again, if you don't learn how to cope, the stress and the pressure, it can be easily, you can easily get burned out.
So you have experienced burnout?
Yes, because I'm a very social person. Back in college, I was like,
Like how many months from like a peak period where you have a lot of clients or you're earning a lot, like how many months from then did you feel like
actually
you're starting to burn
even
out?
just the first few 6 months, maybe the first 6 months.
Uh-huh.
So when the pandemic came, I was like, what are you talking about? This is normal for me. People are like freaking out and they were like, oh, I can't cope with pandemic because I can't go out. I have no friends. But I was like, that was the first 6 months of my life as a freelancer. So I was able to, it was not new to me. So I was already able to cope with that isolation stage. Yeah.
I see.
Yes.
So, do you have any advice for people who's experiencing burnout? How did you cope up?
The way I cope with that is I have to really stop working. So we have a no weekend work policy.
No weekend. Sorry.
No weekend. So no, absolutely no laptops. So we do the work, we do the grind during the weekdays, but really we reset during the weekends. No work at all.
Now, you're working with your team remote, right?
Yes, fully remote.
And when you said that you do the grind throughout the week,
Yes.
how do you monitor that? Since you're all fully remote, you can't see them.
Yes.
How do you make them report to you? What strategies you have to like?
There's a lot actually. When people ask me, or how do we do it? It's not an overnight success. It's every day. We put in a lot of effort to where we are now, but basically to help with that is we have a co-working platform where we just go online together, whether we want to just work together or we make tambay there, so we can. So that you still have that human interaction.
Right.
So that's optional. It's not mandatory.
Well, optional only.
It's optional, yes.
But do you recommend, or in an average, like how many hours minutes in a day do you?
We are online all day, actually.
Oh, okay.
So there's an option for us to maybe do focus work where we don't hear anything. So there's an option there, but we're still there. So that you still feel that you have somebody side by side in the office, but you can still do focus work. So there's an option to click, okay, I want to do focus work. I don't want to hear anything.
And where do you do that again?
In
Discord.
Yes. So we use
I
Discord
see.
for that. And then we do check-ins. So although we're an agency, to be honest, you don't need to do like all the HR function because it's a different engagement. They're not employees, they're contractors as well.
Right.
So, but we really invest in our people, meaning we do also check-ins because mental health and wellness is very important. So we do check-ins with our team members every monthly, or for newcomers it's like weekly or daily. So we do check-ins so that
What comprises the check-in?
the check-in is just catching up, what's happening with your life, not just work, but also the personal stuff, because we also need to know how they're supported in their household, by their family. So we also would like to get to know how are you doing in your house or your family. So because that really affects the productivity and the work.
You want to understand already what possible factors could affect how the productivity of this person.
Yes,
right?
not just on a personal level. And also we do quarterly meetups. So that means not just meetups and then inuman, or we also do like community outreach quarterly. So that's our commitment. So just last week we went to SOS Village in Mariveles, Bataan. This is like an orphanage for housing 91 kids. So every quarter we do that. Last time it was in Pampanga.
You're the one who decided that we're gonna do
Yes,
this.
because this is our way to give back. Just maybe a month ago during the typhoon season, and we're seeing people powering through the storm because they need to go to the office, diba? And we felt just so lucky because we don't have to go through that.
Yeah.
Diba? So this is really a privilege. It's an opportunity. So we want to give back because we're very blessed. Not everybody is in the same position as us. So we want to be very grateful and share that blessings with it, with
Hashtag
the community.
Wow.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm starting to get
Teary-eyed.
inspired. I know her to be very passionate kasi. So it's my first time hearing her being so inspirational about
Yeah.
those. No, what's really amazing is a lot of companies claim to be doing the right thing. Starting from the basics like CSR and all that. And you started this team on your own.
On your
And
and we're not an enterprise company.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Not
a very
even an
small company.
enterprise.
Yeah.
But you know what you actually had to
Yes,
do.
so we shell out time and effort and money to do these activities because we really believe in the power of gratitude, right? And we really invest in our people. The reason I started Virtual Champions is because I was so annoyed with jobs that are like offering $2 or maybe $100 a month or something, or $200 a month. And I thought, oh, Filipinos are worth more than that. And usually these are like internationally owned companies. So I wanted to be, our tagline is a company for Filipinos by Filipinos because we want to pay Filipinos more.
Okay.
So to be honest, we pay minimum $5, even if you're a newbie, even if you're internally hired. So because we want to be the ideal client that we're looking for, so we also emanate that the qualities that we're looking for in an ideal client. So we pay the same rate, even if like technically we're a Filipino company, right?
Yeah.
So we're not an internationally owned.
My
agency.
takeaway from that is keeping it, having that kind of standard makes it look like, each and everyone in the company has the same pride.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Whether you're working for an international client or if you're working for Virtual Champions,
Internal
it's the same.
support.
No,
Yeah.
it's the same.
Wow. I think that's a lot already in terms of understanding your
Yes.
company culture.
Yes.
Like I didn't have to ask you spilled it yourself. Now let's talk about ClickUp, right? A game changer for VAs, is that right?
Yes.
That's where you found the opportunity
ClickUp.
that you can do it better yourself.
Yes.
Diba? So can you tell us more like how did you discover it in the first place?
So it was through my boss.
Ah.
But for me, kasi I like to tinker with things, with the settings. For example, if I buy a new phone, I like to check the settings and make sure that I customize. So that worked for me. So when I first got a hold of ClickUp, I was like tinkering everything, see what it does. And I was amazed because it has everything in one tool. So instead of, let's say, for example, for us, we use time tracking. For time tracking, you have to pay another software for that. So you have a to-do list and then you have a time tracking. So usually you have two software open side by side. So with ClickUp, it's already built in. It also has a document. So if we need to write process documents or SOPs, it's also within the tool. So we don't have to create a Microsoft Word or a Google Doc for separately. So it's within the same system. It has Gantt charts. So we usually use that for construction projects as well, for construction clients. So you can create a Gantt chart. So it's really a lot of functionalities in one software, and we're paying the same subscription. So for example, just recently, it added like the chat functionality, so we were able to let go of Slack. There's
How
a
many
lot.
industries are you able to?
So
In terms of the industries of your
the
existing
industries,
clients.
it ranges from pretty much anything and everything, as long as you have projects, actually, as long as you have tasks. Because it's very customizable. The only caveat is that the learning curve is quite steep because there's a lot of the degree of customization is so wide, right? So that's where we come in. That's why we help our clients to set it up, because what you don't know, it's hard to set up something that you don't fully understand. So for us, we are able to then map out all the bits and pieces for you so that it works for you and you don't spend your time learning it, because it took me years. It took me years to be a power user.
So I'm gonna challenge that because back then when I was still in property management, we have a very simple routine to follow and to monitor, but we couldn't find the perfect tool
Yes.
to do it. Like there would be some details that has to
Are
be
missing.
captured, has to be captured and cannot be put there by this system, or that's not there in default. It's gonna cost you a lot if you're gonna try to pick it up. Anyway, I think we can talk about it later. Or in a different session, right? How you can show us perhaps.
Oh,
If
I
you
can
have
do a
the-
demo, yeah, definitely.
Wow, really? You're ready to do a demo? Okay, that's
Yes.
for our viewers. You can actually invite her for a demo. It's like going for free, right?
Yes. I did
Forced.
not because I
She's not
use
forced.
I use ClickUp for everything. Even my family is I have a space for my family where my each of my kids would have a list, so I know what I need to do for them for the whole year. And then I started a laundromat business. I also set it up there, so I know what to buy or the expenses. I can track the expenses there. Even our relationship goals with my husband is there. I also have a gratitude list. So if ClickUp is down, I don't know what to do with my life because everything is there.
So you're
I'm
really
running
able
my-
to use it
I'm
for
running a-
personal
yes,
and
for personal
professional
business,
use. Business
and
use.
for my clients as well, for my team members. So yeah.
That's really interesting. I just didn't want to bore our audience in terms of asking my specific questions as a property manager before. Struggling to find the perfect fit to my daily routine.
Yes.
Okay, but anyway, I'll probably invite you for a demo session. Then let's see how to solve it.
Yes.
Right. All right. Now, in terms of the struggles, we've talked about the burnout earlier, but are there other common struggles that the VA interface?
There's a lot actually. Aside from the isolation, right? They really need to know how to balance and to manage their time because especially in a Filipino household where it's very tied and connected. So in the beginning, my family was not they don't get the idea that hey, I'm available. I'm here but I'm not available. I'm here but I'm working. So you need to really set the boundaries because especially we like to sing karaoke. So it's hard. It's hard to keep the noise down, right? If your neighbor is like singing karaoke from the top of his lungs. So you have to like I have a dedicated workspace. You have to set boundaries within the household that hey, during this time I'm doing work or I'm doing client calls. So they have to know. You have to let them into your world as well so that they understand how to support you.
Right.
So that's one. The second one is there's still, although English is our second language, there's still a language barrier in the way that you're dealing with different cultures. So the stories that I hear from clients about virtual assistants from the Philippines is that they would just disappear. They would just ghost the client, and that's and that I find that very true because we're kind of like a sensitive culture and. I think it's not just our culture, but you know the fear of confrontation, right? And we don't complain. We don't complain to a fault. Actually, as Filipinos, we're like yes, yes, yes. We're a yes culture as well. So they would just say yes, even though it doesn't feel right anymore. Then instead of they feel like they're saving the relationship or they're saving face, and they would just disappear instead of just complaining and saying all of the negative stuff. Which is sometimes very crucial because Westerners are very direct, right? They're very direct. So for them, it's normal to do critical or difficult conversations like that, but they still keep it professional, and they're still gonna be okay after the conversation, which is not normal for us Filipinos. So yeah, a lot of virtual assistants are ghosting clients because of that, and then the clients are dumbfounded, saying, what happened to that person? We were okay. We were like, yeah, we were doing fine. And then, yeah, they would just disappear. So that's really important. Learning how to say no and having that critical conversation without being unprofessional.
So for your team, you already set that expectation. We can't ghost clients.
It's still a work in progress, to be honest.
Seriously?
Yes, because it's a culture, it's a mindset shift as well for virtual assistants to have that conversation. Usually it takes time once they get comfortable and once they understand that hey, I can say no or I can say that. Some of my VAs are actually having a difficult time to ask for like a leave request.
Okay.
But I told them that it's also productive work if you're resting, right? You need to also guard your time, your peace. So you need to say no. So you need to talk to the client, and it's okay. That's very normal. Actually, in the UK, they take a lot of leaves and breaks. So it's very normal. So other struggles would be...
So what would happen, what would happen if one of your VAs would just ghost a client?
That's okay. I even allow my VAs to see the payouts, the invoices. So we don't keep any secret because I believe in the power of integrity and honesty. So especially in a remote work setup, integrity is really critical, and honesty is very critical. So what I demand from my virtual assistants, I also show them that, hey, I trust you with this information, that you can take it, so I don't keep any secret with payouts. They know what the markup is, so they see that. Because in some agencies, no, you're not allowed to talk to the client directly, you're not allowed to talk about invoices. So no, it's a different mechanism with us. The dynamics is different. Yeah.
But what do the clients? I mean, do you still resolve it with the clients that have been ghosted?
It's
how
not
do they
with us. It's not with us. They just tell me when during discovery calls that I had a VA and then she just disappeared. And so that's why whenever I'm in platforms like this, I always tell the Filipino freelancers to please don't ghost the clients. Do your best work and be the best, or be excellent in what you do, so that a lot of clients would trust Filipinos more, diba? So that we can provide more opportunities to Filipino workers. And Filipinos don't have to go abroad just to earn the same amount, right? So you're not just earning for yourself, you're actually representing the Filipino workers, the Filipino freelancers in the global stage. So keep that in mind. Don't scam clients. That's another thing, right?
So do the VAs in the Philippines have like a trust survey already out
I'm
there,
not sure.
or no?
But I'm proud to be a Filipino, because I also hear from clients that they're raving about Filipino talent. Communication is impeccable, very hardworking. They don't complain, so they're they're raving for Filipino talent. But of course, there are stories about horror stories about
There's a
clients as well.
downside
Yeah.
as well, right? You just mentioned one, clients rave about Filipino not complaining, but the others to a fault in
Yes.
which they would actually just ghost you if they can't
Yes.
take it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, well, you gave us already an idea on how you actually manage your teams remotely, right? You still are able to do quarterly
Quarterly, yes.
outreach. Wow, that's really interesting. So, life as a VA, what would be your main takeaways and advice to those who would want to pursue? It's very relatable for a lot of BPO
Yes, a lot
employees,
of
right?
a lot of corporate employees actually would like to transition and enter the freelancing industry, and we actually provide opportunities to people who'd like to transition because they already have the skills, but they just need to overcome the isolation piece, because it's a different type of working. But since the pandemic happened, they kind of seen that it's doable, right? It's very doable. And when they started working from home, they don't want to go back to the office anymore, because they've seen that it's actually it's working, right? It's doable. So you can do your work without the hassle of the commute,
Yeah.
diba? Getting tired every day, pipila sa MRT. So you take away all that and you're more productive, right?
Yeah.
I remember traveling from Quezon City, Philcoa, to Ayala, 2 hours. So 4 hours traveling. So I can't imagine myself going to that type of daily commute. Yes.
That's my probably one of the proudest decisions I've ever made. Like after graduating from college, even I myself already assessed I am not gonna take
Travel,
MRT every
yes.
never.
So
I won't
you'd
do it.
rather like rent somewhere near the
That's what I
walking
did.
Yes,
So
definitely.
even then, back in 2013, that's when I decided, no, I'm just gonna stay in Makati. I'm gonna look for a job here. Yeah. And turns out more than 10 years, right? So and a lot of my friends and the people I work with can see the convenience.
Yes.
Right? That's very true. I cannot agree more than what you said. It really improves the quality of life.
The quality of life,
Right.
and the productivity, the quality of service that they provide. So my advice to people, especially from the BPO, who'd like to transition to freelancing, you already have the skill. What you just need to learn is to overcome the isolation or the working from home. You really need to make sure that you have a workspace at home that's going to allow you to do productive work. And there's a lot of new tools out there. So make sure that you are up to speed with what's happening in the digital industry. So for example, AI is very new. So make sure that you upskill yourself with the necessary tools that you're gonna need in working from home, because it's a different it's a different landscape. So for example, with ClickUp, a lot of the reason ClickUp actually boomed during the pandemic is because that's the reason the businesses had to transition to remote operations. And back then they were like in the office, so they know they can ask someone, "What are you doing?" or "Where is this project at? What's the progress on this?" They can do that in along the hallway or something, or they can just walk through to the office of that person. But in remote operations, it's different. So they had to use a tool where they can interact and collaborate and ask for updates remotely. So learn these tools because it's going to be vital in you surviving as a virtual assistant. So there are also plenty of resources online. So instead of doom scrolling, looking at thirst trap content in TikTok, make use of your time to learn all the tools because there are like free resources, free courses in YouTube that you can watch so that you can learn and then practice it. To me, when I started, I even reached out to like consultants. I offered my service for free. I wanted to be an intern because I want to shadow and learn from them. So that's what I did when I started. Luckily, there's one person who accepted me for free. So there's plenty of opportunities. You just really need to be creative and put in the work.
Yeah. If there's something I want to highlight with what you said, when these consumers in the social media understand that there's a lot of potential and opportunities, the discipline itself to stop consuming the, let's say, right, the cheap content and actually use that time
to learn,
upskill themselves. I mean, I think there's just the opportunities are just limitless, right?
Yes.
How many ideas can you actually take out from that, and the work that can be done?
Yes.
How about misconceptions in the VA work?
There's a lot. It's not a get rich scheme. It's not like the 6 digits hype has been there. And what they do is like they apply for multiple jobs, 3 clients at a time, and then you would see like their workspace with like 3 laptops turned on at the same time. It doesn't work like that. When I started, and I don't mean it might not work for everybody, but this is what worked for me. I focused on one client at a time. It's always one client at a time. Even if I'm getting like offers here and there, I focused on one client because I wanted to be an expert in that field, and I wanted to give my 100%. And the only way I can do that if it's just one client, because if you're like juggling multiple clients, one, you don't have work-life balance. You don't rest anymore. What would you do with the 6 digits if it's just gonna go to hospital bills, right? So just one client at a time. That means I will find everything that I can to improve this business, right? I will make sure that all the stones are turned, right? So because if you're juggling multiple clients, you're just okay, once I finish the 8 hours, then I'm done. I'm not going to think about that client anymore because I have another client that I need to think about. So you're just putting in mediocre work because you're just clocking in, clocking out. That's it. And you're just waiting for the payout.
I think that's very important for other people to know this. It's very, you need to hear that firsthand before you actually swim into this ocean, right? Because
it looks easy. It's not like type lang sa keyboard, no.
It looks easy until such time that you won't notice you're already drowning, right? I think there was also a situation in which I was like that. I thought I can do multiple stuff at the same time, but it's very basic. If you want to put out your best work into something, you have to focus on it, and that means you have to take away all the distractions.
Yes.
And that also could mean saying no to other possible
opportunities or other clients. Yes.
Yeah.
It took me 8 years to get that 6 digits, but from there it's like all right, exponential growth. So you just have to get past that first few years, and then once you gain expertise on a particular field, then you can do consulting, which is I can do multiple projects instead. Yeah.
I have a feeling that you're gonna get a lot of invites after this one.
Thank you.
With the testimonies that you've been saying here.
Diba, when I started 10,000. My lowest rate was like $3. Not in my imagination that I would be able to earn like $100 an hour. So that's my rate now.
Wow.
So when I get like 8 bookings a day, so that could be tiring. I would like see red because that would be like red on my calendar. Like I'm full red today. Yes, I'm full red today. But I would say to myself, Lord, I'm not complaining. This is like a 1-month salary of an ordinary employee. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to get that point. So that's why I wanted to share this with other people, because I can't imagine myself working, going to another country, leaving my kids behind just to earn the same amount. So I know that there are a lot of like parents out there that are missing their family, right? So gone are the days that you need to be an OFW to earn 6 digits to provide for your family. You can do that from your roof, from your house. You don't have to leave your family. So I want to provide that opportunity to as many Filipinos as possible, because I've been flown by clients abroad, not just in the Australia one. I went to Dubai for 2 months, and I've seen like the Filipino workers there. There's a place called Satya where most of like the immigrants are living, but it's like a very small unit that they have like 3 deckers of bed space, and then they even do shifting with the sleep schedule.
Oh, okay. Because it's not 1:1?
No, like
Okay.
like there would be like 8 people in one room, because it's very expensive.
One room, 8 people, and how many beds?
I'm not sure. Like they do
Just
like
6,
3,
maybe like that.
yeah, and then they would do shifting with sleep schedule, and it's very hot there. So imagine they have to wait outside because somebody else is sleeping. It's not their shift for the sleep, so it's very hard. It looks glamorous on social media working abroad, but that's not the reality of what's happening there. And then they have to clock out. I mean, wait in line for the bus and the public transportation. So just to send money to the Philippines. Like, oh my God, I felt like it was just 2 months, but I felt like I was like 5 years as an OFW, and I was like, I couldn't go home because somebody actually died. One of my one of my aunties died during that 2 month project, and I felt like I was like an OFW. Because I felt the loneliness, the isolation.
You weren't allowed to leave during that time.
No, I didn't because the flight.
The clients.
The flight is
Sponsored.
No, the flight is sponsored by the client, and it's gonna take maybe $1,000 one way
Okay.
to go back. So we just opted not to.
Okay. Are you running for
For office.
for local office? You can
I
start
don't
from
know
there.
because.
You don't know, so you're thinking.
You're not sure. Maybe. But when I started in college, kasi some of my friends are saying, actually, this is what you were saying way back in college, because I'm from UP. So, as you know, pag UP, medyo aktivista. Hindi naman, pero I was part of the parang scholarship for the OST.
Okay.
So, part of the values that was inculcated to us is to give back, because it's the taxes that's actually sending you to school.
Right.
So I kind of maybe carried that over when I started the agency. That's why, even if I can get away with it, I actually registered legally, so we're paying taxes.
Right.
So a lot of agencies actually are kolorum. They can get away with it. There are no laws yet, and for us, no. From day one we filed our taxes.
Other agencies are playing hide and seek.
Yes, they're doing like secret operations. And because a lot of VAs actually, they don't pay taxes as well. They don't want to. Because of course they would like to get all the take-home pay to themselves. So all of our VAs as well are paying taxes.
She didn't drop any names. So we're safe.
So we also ask our VAs to register. So because that's also an advantage for them, because that way they have an ITR, they have an income tax return that they can show for visa appointments or mortgage or car loans. So now they see the benefit of filing tax, but while paying the taxes they don't, because they would just say, oh, it's just gonna go to the pockets of the people, and
you know,
yeah,
it's the same old story. So you're running. All right.
I mean, handling 35 team members is already, it can be draining actually, because you have to be very gracious. So my kind of leadership is really more on grace, and I'm not like the authoritarian or strict. So I'm like your friend.
Really?
To a fault. Yes. Yes.
Doesn't
actually.
match how you sound like.
No.
Not authoritarian. Didn't you
No.
force me to do this? I'm just kidding.
So we're very chill actually in the team. So, and I always tell my team that I'm actually a playing coach. I don't just sit and wait for the invoices to get paid.
Yeah.
I'm also like a virtual assistant. So I work, what, 12 to 16 hours a day as well. So I also work for clients. I don't just lead the team. So I'm a playing coach in a way.
I don't know what to say. I'm starting to get speechless here. This is not what we planned. Whatever you saw, this is really not what we planned. I am overwhelmed. I am.
You're not planning to shift career after this.
Is there an opportunity for?
Yes, we're looking for.
We can talk about it later. But I'm pretty sure some in the audience would probably want to hear it now. So maybe we'll try to put links if in any case you wanted to reach out to either Eloiza or myself.
Yes.
But I don't know what to say. Like you gave us more than what we were thinking. This going out of plan seems to be a better option.
Yes.
Thank you, Eloiza, for your time. Any last words for our viewers out there?
Well, again, I want to use this platform to send a message to all the freelancers in the Philippines. So please, whenever you're doing any job or you're working for a client, make sure that you're not just representing yourself. You're also representing the Philippines as a workforce. Let's do our best work. Let's put excellence in everything that we do so that we can provide more opportunities to a lot of Filipinos here, because there's a lot of talented Filipinos and all they need is like the opportunity to earn while they're with their families and they're in the Philippines. So let's do that.
All right. I'm so happy to see you here. So happy to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Guys. All right, thank you everyone. See you in the next
It
episode.
works.
So to our listeners, whether you're an aspiring VA, freelancer, or someone who just wants to have more control in your work life, I hope today's conversation gave you the confidence that you need and know that the tools are out there. You just have to make them work for you. Don't forget to follow Work and Talk with PH for more episodes where we highlight work that matters and the people behind it. Because #, it works.